89-year-old Gary Matzdorf was wearing his sailor's cap on Friday morning as he stood in the sun looking excitedly across the arrivals terminal and waited for his elementary school classmate Leo Gerechter.
By some accident, I found his name in a German magazine, so I wrote to him.
They were both born Jewish in Berlin in 1921.
My parents and I, we immigrated to Shanghai in 1939 and left everything behind.
But after 80 years, today Gary hopes to finally reconnect with that time he was a child in Berlin, as he waits for his Hohenstaufenstrasse elementary school classmate, Leo Gerechter.
And just recently he told me that he's going to be in Los Angeles for a bar mitzvah. I said, I'm going to meet you at the airport. That's why I'm here now, waiting for him to arrive.
Why are you so excited to see him?
Well, it's been 80 years. I don't have too many friends from that time.
I've already spotted it in the white jacket.
Good, how are you?
Good.
At the baggage claim, they immediately pulled out the old class photo.
There he is.
There was Leo toward the front in a dark suit, and Gary was in the back in a sailor suit. Then they got to comparing notes about their old neighborhoods in Berlin.
There was a synagogue there too, and
Yeah, practically across the street. We went to that synagogue.
I see.
They also talked about where life had taken them after Berlin. Gary lived in Shanghai until Mao took over in 1948, and then he worked in the leather industry in Minneapolis, Ohio, and eventually Los Angeles. Leo, on the other hand, came directly to the United States, alone, and worked his way up in the garment industry.
My family was all killed, everyone.
They all stayed? You went by yourself?
They couldn't get out, yeah.
But later, when they sat down to lunch, I had to ask why they really cared to connect after their lives had gone down such divergent paths.
Leo, why did you want to meet Gary again?
Well, Gary's the same age I am, really.
Yeah.
When you're a certain age, you like to think back and see what happened to people. What happened to us? How did we go? Where did we go? When did we go? What did we do?
And it seems that although their paths diverged and they lived in completely different countries, these two classmates may be able to relate to each other's stories after all.
I went downtown and I got a job as a private secretary. And one day my boss was sitting across the desk from me and the telephone rang. I picked up the phone and answered in Chinese. Where, no Sanika. Next morning he comes in, he says, Mr. Matzdorf, I don't need you anymore. And he fired me. And I was very disappointed. The only reason I could imagine is that he didn't want me to learn to speak Chinese so I wouldn't know his business.
Which was very
And
nefarious.
it turned out that a few weeks later the police came to my house and asked me if I knew anything about Mr. Crank's business. So that was my first experience in Shanghai.
Meanwhile, in New York, Leo got a job working for a garment factory. One day, his boss asked him to deliver dresses to a factory in Pennsylvania. When he made the delivery, the manager invited him to lunch. The manager took off his coat,
And there was a gun. And I didn't say anything. I was a kid, 22.
Later, Leo asked the shipping clerk, "Why would you need guns to make dresses?"
You need guns. You need guns. He said, don't you know who you're working for? It didn't ever occur to me. He said, did you ever hear of Murder Incorporated?
Oh my God.
Sharing where their lives had gone on since, so began a reunion of these two 89-year-old men who had both escaped Berlin.
And been in touch by email once a week at least.
I believe so, yes. You send a lot of emails. Some of them are very